Right, brilliant. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Hammer's Daily Show. Today is Innovation Wednesday, and we've got two guests with us. We've got Andy Mendelsohn, the CEO of AucSpace, and Matt Geppert, also from AucSpace. And we're talking all about how those guys are simplifying reviewing auction packs. Welcome, Andy. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you. It's great to see you all.
Yeah, good to have you here. And it's on Wednesday we're discussing sort of innovation, how we do things in property, how we work remotely and stuff like that. But you guys are doing something quite revolutionary in the legal pack market kind of auction space. Could you tell us a little bit more give us a background about yourself and AucSpace and what you guys do exactly?
Of course, sure. So I'll start, and I know Andy will jump in at some point after that. So AucSpace, the idea actually came from two of our other founders who are in the property space, where one buys and sells at auction, has done for the past 10 to 15 years. The other has been working within the auction industry, directly working with the consumers, putting lots into auction on behalf of auctioneers, etc. So very heavily geared towards that market. And they had an idea between them, it was about 7 years ago now, where what they wanted to do is simplify the legal pack, because they took it to solicitors, they were getting charged a hefty fee, and at the end of it they were getting something back that wasn't as comprehensive as what they would have liked, and they were paying a fortune for it. So they came up with something saying, why don't we have an in-house team that could effectively deal with these summaries and push them out, to the public, do it quickly, etc. So they kind of sat on that idea for a while. They didn't really know what to do. And about 18 months to 2 years ago now, one of the founders then brought the idea to myself. Now, my background has been dealing heavily with technology startups, but building technology teams on behalf of companies. Andy, along the journey, was a good client of mine, and we've known each other for quite some time now. We've got a good relationship. So as soon as this idea came to me, I kind of looked at the model, looked at the business potential, and thought, right, okay, we need someone who's good with disruptive industries, understands startups. I see a lot of legs in this industry. I'm not from an auction background, but I did my understanding of the industry, where it is, where it's going. And obviously it's very stuck in olden times, shall we say, in terms of the legal modelling behind it all. So I brought in, so I spoke to Andy, gave him the idea, gave him the potential. He was in Spain at the time, semi-retired, shall we say. But then, he then saw the value in this, and then he came on board, and I'll let Andy kind of take away from there.
Yeah, I've got sort of 35 years or so experience in technology, building businesses from the ground up, running the tech teams. I've also run the business as CEO, MD. I've done the whole gamut of business. But my background is very tech-based and very much around, looking at good ideas and looking at how you can shortcut them with good technology. Everything we do is, it's all about evolving. And Matt came to me with the idea, and I gave him a bit of a hard time, though I kind of knew I'm always looking for what I think are what the Americans call no-brainer ideas. What is a no-brainer idea? It's something that you sit and you go, why is no one doing this, right? Sure, I can't see a hole in it, and I dug at it and poked at it, and still in my gut knew that it was a very good idea, and got some numbers together and justified it and thought, okay, let's give this a go. It really feels like the right thing to do. So I was in Spain at the time. I mean, I have lived in London and Spain, so I came back.
In Spain, were you?
Sorry?
What about in Spain, were you?
I have a house in an area called the Montes de Malaga, which is northeast of Malaga, sort of north of the coast. Nice, sort of in the middle of nowhere on a 5-kilometre track with no running water. Well, I have water deposits, so we do store water. But yeah, it's beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, that's where I was, and it was summer as well. I think it was August, September time, so I really was relaxing. I was thinking I really want to, but I was getting bored. I need to do something interesting. But yeah, so this idea is really about, revolutionising the way things happen and improving, the ability for people to move quickly. So I could see that, we could build a business around this. We could build the technology that enables us to, rapidly deliver these. It's really all about doing as much as you possibly can and moving as quickly as you possibly can. So yeah, so we went ahead, pulled it together. I wrote a prototype, being as I'm technical and can do that. So I wrote a prototype and we went ahead and tried it and spent, I don't know how long, Matt, probably 7 months before we went
live? Between 6 and 8 months before we went live. And I think from that point, it was then trying to gear up with the propositions that we could encounter, such as change the perception of a market, a change the perception of people that were so stuck in a pattern, that how are we going to change that? How can we disrupt that? And that's where the kind of plan started. And that's kind of where this year has kind of brought us to. And obviously with COVID has its restrictions, but that hasn't really stopped us in terms of delivering what we wanted. It stopped us and hindered us in terms of marketing, because our plan was to be at every single auction. That was our plan. We'd have a stand, we'd be there, presence, we'd have that. But obviously that wasn't to be. So we are working along very closely with, selected auctioneers while, for organic growth for the business, and just trying to widespread that now over the UK.
You can never predict the fact that you're setting up a business that's going to launch a week after lockdown occurs. It was just something that I think obviously we're not the only ones that's hit. And established businesses probably hurt a lot more, but yeah, we'd set the company up. We've got the employees. We hire solicitors. So we thought, okay, what do we do?
Our team during lockdown went from 4 people to 12. So it's quite ironic that a lot of the team haven't even met each other. But at the same point, we all know what we're doing. We all know what everyone's task is in hand, and we're pushing everything that we need to at an organic rate.
That's what I thought was brilliant. But when we had the chat, Matt, I was expecting it to be, prop tech in terms of there was a bit of technology that was just pulling the information from a legal pack and stick it into a PDF and emailing it off, and it was very hands-free and probably quite fallible and all that kind of stuff. We were talking for a little while, and you said no, there's like a 3-stage, 4-stage process. There's actual solicitors that are going through, pulling this information out, inputting it into the document. There's that someone goes in and double checks it to make sure nothing's been missed. All for under 100 quid, right? I mean, I can't off the top of my head what the exact price point is, but that's a lot of work and a lot of process for sub 100 quid. So obviously you're working to an economy of scale, but still that's. I mean, I review a legal pack every once in a while for some investors I know. We're so much more expensive than that, and we're not solicitors. We come in at a practical approach using our years of investment knowledge, right? It's a very kind of practical report rather than a legal report. But it takes us, because if it's a mixed-use property, commercial, residential, that's 4 or 5 hours worth of work for us to go through. But of course, we're only charging the one person. So do you guys want to just go through the actual the process and the pricing, and just because it blew my mind. I said to Pete, we've got to get these guys on. We've got to talk about this because it's ridiculous.
So yeah.
I'll let you go. I'll let you talk, Anne.
So yeah, we basically monitor all the auctions we can, right? We upload all the data we can to our site, so it becomes searchable. And then we right now, because we want to cover every single auction we possibly can, and we do try our best to maximise our ability to deliver legal pack summaries on demand. But we then monitor, we register for the lots, we get emailed when the legal pack's available, we download the legal pack, we unzip it, we get all the items, we put it into our system, and then we tell our solicitors who are employed by us, not outsourced, that this is a legal pack that needs doing. It gets passed on to them. One of them will do the legal pack, will summarise it, will produce our document, and then another one will review that before we even publish it. So we have or sometimes there's even a third person gets involved in the process of discussing whether something is an issue or not. Now, one thing to bear in mind is that we are really careful that this is not legal advice, right? This is a review and a summary. So we also have to be very careful with our language. So the whole thing is structured in such a way to say we are picking out every single detail. We are reducing it into language that people understand. We're breaking it into sort of 7 sections. I think Matt will show, if you've got to bring Matt, we can show what a summary looks like. So what happens is they upload it back into our system. We have an authoring tool that enables them to put it in there, and then we publish it. And then beyond that, if the legal pack changes, which we all know they do frequently, things get added, things are missing at the outset, we know straight away because we get the notification. We tell our solicitors straight away, they do the work on it, and we publish it again. And if you bought one, you get a notification straight away to say the legal pack has changed, download the summary here. You don't pay any more for it, it's part of what we're selling.
So this service is not a replacement for a solicitor, it's like a first step if you want to kind of get into the property and just basically see if this is something that might even, like it's even remotely safe to purchase. And then once you get that legal review, then you go to a solicitor and basically sometimes show them the report as well from you, right? And it helps them.
Exactly. And what you also have, I don't know if you mentioned that, is we have suggested actions. So you could actually go away and do some investigative work, which fundamentally can stop them going to this. They might not need to spend all that money. So what they'll have is a chance to take the steps out on their own if they feel confident enough, do that. Or they might need to do that and go straight to the auction and say, do you know what, that's enough information for what I need. You've confirmed everything that I kind of thought. It's a second opinion for me. I can now move forward and bid on a property, which has happened. I mean, we don't know exact percentages, but it happens a lot. Now we get an email saying testimonials, that effectively saying this product's great. It's allowed me to bid and actually won the property. So that's really pleasing to hear that we're delivering the right product. And one thing on that is we're constantly asking for feedback. What did you like? What don't you like? So we can always manipulate what we're delivering to the public so we know we're catering for them. Because if we don't listen to them, we're never going to understand how to better what we're offering and what the difference is between us and what they're getting from a solicitor. We've had case studies, no names mentioned obviously, where solicitors have delivered the summary, missed out vital information. They've then come to us, seen our summary, seen we've picked up information that solicitors haven't, which we find amazing. That just proves the value you're getting with us. Now, the hiring process, which was actually set up from myself to actually finding solicitors, we had a really high level of quality needed. We knew that the people we needed were extremely experienced people. We weren't going to go for paralegals. We weren't going to go for people that didn't have qualifications. So these are qualified property solicitors that have worked for good firms, good quality firms, where we know that we can have them and we can trust them to deliver what we need to with a quality product. So it was quite a lengthy process where we built on that, and off the back of it, we've got all experienced solicitors, experienced in residential and commercial. I mean, the majority of the legal packs we do are residential based. We do get a lot of mixed use buildings, Jay, what you mentioned there. We do have a lot of scenarios where we've done the mixed use buildings where we've sold numerous times over, and now we've managed to push them out extremely quickly. Similar timeframes though, we don't cut corners. We say to them, if we've got a new legal pack delivered and we've got a purchase, we ensure that we stick to all the quality checks at the same point. Nothing gets rushed, but we know we can push it quicker because these guys are doing it day in, day out. That's what they do. That's what they know. They're more experienced than anywhere, we think anywhere in the UK. No one's going to be doing the amount of summaries that we're doing. The price is £79 plus VAT. So it might be nice for me to kind of show you an example of what one looks like.
You guys share every week on Property Tribes. You share like the property of the week and you share the report.
That's right. Every week, yeah.
Posting the link in the comments to this page, the latest one. Property in Liverpool and McHugh auction. That was yesterday auction.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. So
right.
Perfect. So what you'll see is the initial page is kind of a brief introduction about the property, gives you an idea of what you're buying, tells you what's inclusive in that document. So it breaks down into 7 headings. So you've got special conditions, title, tenancy documents, searches, protocol forms, transfer documents, management pack, lease and miscellaneous. So it gives you a breakdown of each one. Under each heading, it'll report exactly what's in the legal pack. We won't, if there's information that isn't in the pack, then this won't be in here. Okay, so we will report and review whatever is in the legal pack and inclusive in there, and we will stick it under headings.
How do you handle the information that's crucial that might not be included in the legal pack? Do you highlight that, for example, I know the tenancy information is missing?
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. If there is any documentation missing, if we feel something isn't quite there that we want you to kind of an action for you to take, that will be in the suggested action. So if you scroll down slightly, you'll see under every heading there'll be an actions tab. So there, action special conditions. So it will tell you what to do, what steps to take, what's maybe not in that section that should have been in that section, just to cover everything, so we know that you've got every bit of information leading straight into be able to bid. That's we want to give you the confidence. This sort of style we don't think is put anywhere else the way we do it, because obviously it gives you the opportunity rather than telling you what the situation is. So it kind of puts it back into your hands, which we think's worked really well.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, if there are documents that are missing, as I mentioned, you get the update. We have had somebody say, there were no title deeds there. Well, there aren't, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't buy the summary. What will happen is, if the title deeds come up, we will amend our document, and we'll also say there are no title deeds yet. We are waiting for them. So we try to do this. If you wanted to get a legal pack summary from a lot that we haven't summarized, but we've got the legal pack, we'll do it within 24 hours. We'll turn it around. If you ask for it at 7 o'clock in the evening on Monday, you'll get it by 5 o'clock on Tuesday. That's our kind of delivery guarantee.
We also do spot extra things, like for instance, if there's a title number that is incorrect, we might get a question saying these title numbers don't add up. What am I bidding for? Because if a title number is incorrect, they think, okay, so if I exchange in a contract on the day of the auction, I'm not sure if I'm going to win that property or something. So what we do, if it is incorrect, we if we have the information, we can even do a search to make sure that it is the right number according to that property. And then what we can do is then we can report back to the auctioneers and tell them that, look, title number's incorrect, you need to change that. And usually they send an addendum that comes through, incorrect information, and then they update it. So we can push that cycle as well. So that's where we work a lot with auctioneers on that front. Hence the reason why we think we can help them on the legal information as well as the consumer side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes absolute sense, and I think it's a super useful service. Just because, like, from my perspective, like when I sometimes look at the property, the amount of time I spend looking through the legal pack, it actually costs more money than paying someone to do it, and it's amazing, like how I could spend like the whole day on the property. Like in my early days, I would spend 2 or 3 days on one property, like really trying to see what's in there, or what I might. Sometimes I wouldn't even know what I might be missing in that thing.
Yeah.
Having that gives a lot of confidence, I would say.
Yeah, I think we kind of want people to as soon as they see a property, automatically think, let me go to AucSpace. That's the perception that we want to adopt in this industry. And we're doing the right things at the moment. Obviously, we're working with a growing number of auctioneers, and that's going to significantly change, over the course of the next 6 months. We've changed so much, and we're adding new features all the time. There's 2 or 3 new features that hopefully are hitting in the new year, which are really going to be beneficial to consumers. So that's something to kind of watch our space on, and to see what we're hitting, something which is pretty unique that has never been seen before, that we think we're rolling out, which could be really helpful and beneficial to anyone in the auction industry.
It should make it easy for, it's that whole thing about how many properties you want to look at an auction, how many can you afford to take the pack to a solicitor for 1 or 2. If they're going to charge you 300 quid, that's 600 outlay, right, for 2 properties. But again, we'll get 5 or 6, because that way we've done the summary, you've got a consistent style, you know what it is you're looking at. That one's no good, let me look at the next one. You can go through a lot more properties, and we're probably going to make that even cheaper at some stage, but we're not sure how we're going to do that. But there's a lot of tools that we're adding and features that we're adding over the time.
Yeah, brilliant. Anything else to add, Jay?
No, I've already heard some of the things that they're bringing out into the new year. I don't think they've mentioned it publicly, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. But actually, I'm really impressed, and I think for us, even for our buyers club and people like that, if we're looking at 5 or 6 properties each, or some of the same properties, it's worthwhile us getting something like this as an instant review, because we've talked about this previously, how we go through catalogues. We've got like a traffic light system. We'll cross through ones we're not going to pay any attention to, we shortlist, and then we shortlist again. So the ones that make it through to that final shortlist, if it's 5 or 6, it's worthwhile spending that money and then shortlisting again after that, so not having to pay full legal fees for 5 or 6, maybe just 1 or 2. So for us and the people that we're working with, I think it's got fantastic applications. So I'm looking forward to the stuff that's coming out in the new year. But it's definitely something that we'll be using. Absolutely.
Great, glad to hear it. There is one last thing I can add to it, which we didn't touch upon, is what we find is if there's lots in the auctions that haven't sold maybe 24, 48 hours after, our legal pack summaries will still remain, and we still can conduct legal pack summaries. So if there's something in an unsold category that you want a summary on, we can still conduct it and complete it if we haven't done it already, which, bearing in mind the time of that, it'd probably be done already. So just watch that space, and if there's something there that you're not sure of, there's always someone on the chat facility on the website that can always speak to someone about any of the packs, anything furthermore moving forward that you need help with. But yeah, it's kind of the post as well as the pre-auction process that we think we can really help on that.
And also, I guess also the ability to access AucSpace. There is the website that you can access it, and you can find any number of lots for auctions that we're covering there, and search. Although the search facility is something we're building out right now. Right now, you can put an address in, and it will find it. But we're also trying to talk with auctioneers to get a button that goes straight to our lot page on every lot that they have listed. And so far, there's a few auctioneers who are doing that for us. We're hoping to increase that over the next sort of 2-3 months. So there will be multiple ways to get an AucSpace legal pack summary.
Brilliant, and maybe we can, guys, invite you to our live auction commentary. So on the 9th of December, we're doing a live auction commentary of Auction House London. We've done it a few times, and it's been quite an entertaining and also informative day. So basically, we watch Andrew Beanstalk doing his magic, and we in the background we review all the information on the properties that come up and to just discuss them, why this property's been to the auction for the 20th time, why so much money, and it's quite a light-hearted thing, but we share a lot of information there, and maybe it would be worthwhile for you to join in and also tell a little bit about certain legal packs on certain properties, and
we might use to put down. Yeah, we have one of our founders basically runs that whole side of it. He was a developer. He's done a lot of auctioning. So his insights into what makes a good property. He picks the property of the week, for example. So he's probably a really good person. Of course, I'm saying this now. He'll probably go, "No, I don't want to do that." No, he won't. He'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
He's very good.
Sandeman attended a couple of our days, and he loved them, and he's gonna now promote it to his database of subscribers as well, because he thinks there's a lot of value in it. So I'm sure you guys, your business partner will enjoy it as well. So
I'm sure he will.
I'm sure.
Value to all the people who are listening.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, just one last plug, if I may. If there's any auctioneers out there that would like to discuss AucSpace or to have any conversation with myself, please feel free to drop us an email via the website or get in contact with us via the chat facility. More than happy to discuss how we can help you, how we can benefit you, your customers, how we can bring extra bidders. And consequently, if anyone's interested in using our service, same thing applies. Someone in the AucSpace team will pick up your messages and get back to you, usually within 5 minutes on the chat facility on the website in working hours. So yeah, that's really it. We're keen to hear from all and to see how far we can push this. We know we've got something here which has really worked, especially in hard times. So hopefully now, you know, things are lifted and restrictions are getting a little bit lighter. We might even see the ballrooms return in the new year.
That'd be good.
Yeah, really good.
Brilliant. Well, thanks guys for joining. It's been really good chatting to you and
Likewise.
in this service, and yeah, speak to you soon.
Brilliant. Thanks, guys.